Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Tate's XBLA Corner, only on GameZone.com. I'm your host, Tate Steinlog, and I'll be diving headfirst into the latest Xbox Live Arcade and Xbox Live indie games, letting you know if they're worth spending points on or if you should merely pass.
Guess who's back? Back again. Tate is back. Tell a friend.
As the governor of New Mexico,
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? It's your host of Tate's XBLA Corner on GameZone.com, Tate Steinlog, and after a hiatus of adventure, I am back and ready to give you the details on what's hot and what is not with Xbox Live Arcade and Xbox Live indie games. This time around, I'm catching you up with a special edition episode covering the most interesting games that have come out in the last 8 weeks while I've been away, so that you can know if they're worth your time or not. Let's get started with Call of Juarez, Gunslinger. Juarez was released on May 22nd, and if you haven't heard, it's pretty freaking good. More arcadey than that of other Call of Juarez games, or even counterparts such as Red Dead Redemption or Revolver, the game excels at simply being a blast to play. It never gets old popping enemy heads off and blowing up barrels for points as you take a ride in the shoes of a Wild West folklore that actually blurs the lines of non-fiction and mythical. Where story fails to convey a compelling message, gameplay delivers twofold, and that's really what Juarez is all about. Killing baddies, upgrading your revolvers, and riding off into the sunset makes this 1200 Microsoft point title one of the best arcade games of the year. Up next was a game that was released on June 5th, a game that many were expecting to continue to solidify zombies on the Xbox Live Arcade front, State of Decay. The adventure itself is really just a story molded around a unique tower defense style. Your third-person character will have to venture out into the open unknown world to find survivors with differing skills, scout around for supplies, and fortify your home base, though it's really just about surviving when it comes down to it. While State of Decay is not a bad game by any means, it's not the killer app that many expected it to be, especially for 1600 Microsoft points. Controls can be a bit wonky at times, and most of the game feels cluttered with tedious tasks for your character to complete. If you're into zombies though, give State of Decay a chance, but be sure to check out the trial before spending your hard-earned Microsoft points.
Here they come.
And lastly on the list of arcade games that caught my eye was Wolfenstein 3D. Why? One word, nostalgia. If you're somewhat of a new gamer, especially a fan of first-person shooters like Call of Duty, take a look at Wolfenstein 3D and how shooters have evolved over time. It's so impressive. This classic surprisingly holds up well as you must escape from a Nazi castle and then take down its commanders and regime. It's certainly not a game for everyone, but for those who want to appreciate humble beginnings, decent AI interaction, and take down pixelated Nazis, there's no better place to look than Wolfenstein 3D for only 400 Microsoft points. I'd call that a deal. Speaking of Call of Duty, if you haven't had enough of it, check out the Xbox Live indie games clone, Avatar Warfare. When I say clone, I'm not blowing smoke either. The game's digital box art is even an avatar holding two pistols in front of him with a dark, eerie backdrop. Remind you of anything? Anyways, there's not a lot to Avatar Warfare. You select your loadout, join a game, and take down enemies in a variety of maps. Unfortunately, the barren wasteland of actual gamers can ruin the fun. And with no bots to fight offline, you may fear blowing 80 Microsoft points. However, Avatar Warfare is fully functional and seems to play quite well for an indie clone of Call of Duty. If you're looking for a cheap shooter with your avatar, give it a try. And rounding out this special edition catch-up, Tate's XBLA Corner, geesh long name, anyways, is indie game's title, Bridge Physics. Again, a game that's not necessarily a new concept, but executed well enough to make your brain happy. Bridge Physics is a flash player mobile-like game crossover where you must construct a bridge so you can get minion-type guys to cross. The more followers you get across, the more stars you get. As you work through the dozens of levels Bridge Physics comes packaged with, you'll need to use a variety of materials that you have and a little bit of luck so you can ultimately conquer every scenario. For 80 Microsoft points, if you're looking to give your brain a challenge, check out Bridge Physics. And if you don't like it, build a bridge and get over it. See what I did there? That's going to do it for this week's edition of Tate's XBLA Corner. Remember, you can always find the latest gaming news, tricks, cheats, originals, and of course more of me on GameZone.com. Thanks for watching.